Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Subhojit, and today I'll be talking about one more very interesting update that I've introduced in my Google Chrome extension, retrieve metadata and data from Salesforce. And this will be the version 2.2.17 in my Google Chrome extension. So let's get started. New feature that I'll be talking about today is related to the REST call to the Apex. So I have introduced one feature which will behave as a REST client in a Google Chrome extension, so which you can make any REST call to your Apex custom web services that you have built in your Salesforce. This will be a very useful feature for all the developers to test their web services. So having said that, let's get started with the demo and we'll get to know how it works. So as you know that by clicking on the left button, the extension will get open, and as soon as it gets open, a small green tick shows us that now this Google Chrome extension is connected to my Salesforce org. This is a new feature I have introduced in my last version update. Okay, now as soon as you scroll down, you will see the last option as a REST client here in the left sidebar panel. So as soon as you click on it, this REST client will open and you'll be able to see all the things. In this text box, you can write the URL mapping that you have specified in your Apex web services. It will work with the REST web service. So whatever URL mapping you have mentioned in your Apex REST service, you can mention it here. With this REST client, you can send GET request, post, put, patch, and delete request to your Apex web service. Not only that, you can also add any custom headers if you want. So for that, if you click on this header button, this small text box will get open, and you can add any custom like this. Let's say A:B or C:D. So it has to be in the format of this. So for example, this two I have already mentioned here. So you can put the format of this headers in the similar fashion. And as soon as you put the headers here and just click outside, it will tell you whether the custom headers that you have put inside in this text box are valid or not. If it is valid, it will show you valid, and let's say if it is not valid, let's say like this, then it will show you it is of incorrect format, so you need to correct that. So it will be very easy and handy for you to also test whether the headers that you are putting in this text box are correct or not. So for my example, I'll not be needing any headers, so I'll just clear it out. Now to test this functionality, I have written one Apex REST web service. My web service here has a URL mapping of /cases, so I'll be using this in my URL mapping section, and I have written all the code related which will cater to the different types of requests that I send from outside to this web service, be it GET request, post request, delete, patch, etc. So let's say I'll demo a few of the requests one by one, and I'll show you how it works. So I'll first start with the post request, because the post request will create one case in my Salesforce org using the Apex REST web service that I have written. So I'll select the post request here. As soon as I select the post request, it will ask me for the request payload here. So I've already prepared the request payload. So let's say I'll be using this request payload. I can remove this ID because I'm going to create a new case here. Let's say I'll change the name to some like testing demo. Now everything is set. I can click on the send button, and it will send a request to my Salesforce org to the Apex web service that I have exposed. It will do the necessary work. In my case, it will create a case and it will return the response. Let's see how it works. So I'm going to click the send button here. Let's see what is the error. It's showing there's some unexpected character. Okay, I need to remove this comma because I have removed the last key value parameter, right? So I need to remove this one. Also, you can see one thing, like as soon as I put this request payload, it is showing me not supported. Means there's some problem with this request payload, so I need to correct it first. I should have corrected it first before sending the request. So as soon as I remove this comma, it will tell me that this is a JSON request, right? And this is now in the correct format. Now I can again hit the send button to send a request and get the response from my Salesforce org. Let's see how it works now. So it is fetching the response, and I've got the status code as 200 okay, and I've got this case ID. This means the case has already been created in my Salesforce org. So my post request is successful here, right? So let's say if I go to my another window and simply search for my case, the ID name from case where ID equal to this. I can also search for this values which I've sent, right? Let me just search for some few values. It will be enough. So I'll just query for the subject and status here. So once I click on retrieve, so it is going to remove the name here. It is showing subject is testing demo and the status is new, right? Same values I've sent in the post request. So I've also validated it directly from the Salesforce org by querying it. So this is fine. Now what I'll do is I'll use the same ID here, the case ID. I'll also fetch the same case by using my get request. So for that one, I just have to pass my ID in the URL parameter as well. Once I hit send, it will show me the complete case detail, right? You can see that the case number is this, subject is testing demo, status new, phone is origin is phone, priority is low, right? And the ID is this one. I can also expand and collapse the sections from the response, so this is very handy. I can also see the status code and status here, which is 200 okay. So my request is successful. So my get request is also successful here. Now what will I do is I would like to quickly update this record. So I'll use a patch and I will use the same payload. But here what I'll do is I'll pass the ID here and I'll just change the subject from currently it is testing demo and I'll change it to, let's say, demo update. Now once I hit the send button, it will send a request to my Salesforce org and we fetch the response. Let's see how it works. You can see that there's some problem in my response. It shows a system query exception. So what is the problem? Let's find out. Let's go to my patch request here. So as you can see here that it is expecting the case ID as one of the URL parameter on, right? Not in the request body. So what I will do is I'll just copy this case ID here, put it here, and I'll just remove /line, and it should be good now. I can send this request again, and now I've got the status and status code as 200 and 200 okay, right? So this is fine. The record has been updated now. How to validate? Again, two way. I can directly query it from here. Let's say if I query it again, the same ID, the same case ID, you can see that the subject has been updated to demo update. Also, if I can use the get request here again, then I can see that subject is demo update. So my patch request is also successful. Similarly, you can also use a put request, but what I want to show you right now is the delete request. Like this delete will simply delete this record from the Salesforce also, and this is also supported through this REST client. So I'll show you one example of this delete request itself. So for that, let's select this delete option, and I want to delete the same case record from my Salesforce org. So everything is fine. I put this case ID in the URL parameter as well only. and I'll just hit the send button. So once send button is clicked, you can see that I've got the response is 200. Okay, that means this particular record has been deleted from the system. How to verify? Query it directly using the SOQL, and if I query it now, it will tell me no record found. So that means this record has been deleted from the system. So that's all, guys. This is how the REST client from this Chrome extension would work. So currently this would only cater to the Apex custom REST web services that you have written in your Salesforce org, and in the post, put and patch request, you can only send JSON request payload. It is currently not supporting any other request types. So just wanted to mention these 2 points here. So yeah, this is it. I hope you'd like this video a lot, and if you like it, then do like and subscribe to my channel, and do share this video with your friends and fellow developers. They should also get benefited. I'm personally using this in my project as well, so I'm getting a lot of benefit. So I hope I thought of sharing this with you all. So yeah, that's all, and I'll see you again in some other video with some new feature updates in my Google Chrome extension. So till then, bye bye, take care.